Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Kobe, back with another video. And today, man, as you guys can read from the title, I'm gonna be discussing how to build discipline through fitness. You know, discipline isn't something that you're born with. Discipline is something that you build. And it's easier to do so starting off in the gym. A lot of people say they want discipline, but they only move when they feel like it. They start, then they fall off, and they keep saying they're going to keep restarting until eventually over that period of time they never really build real consistency. So in this video, like I said, real quick, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to build discipline through fitness step by step. Okay, first things first, discipline, man, it starts with showing up. I'm gonna just keep it real, because it's like, even when you don't have the perfect knowledge on what you're doing in the gym or all of that stuff, like the program, the plan that you're on and stuff, like, you know, that's important, don't get me wrong, but shoot, man, if you say that you want to get into something, like just say you want to get in the gym, you want to get your body right, sometimes that's all you know that you want. You may not have the technical terms yet for it, but sometimes all you just want to be like, all right, man, I want to get back in the gym. I need to work out for my mental, or I need to work out to you know, get my body right, lean up, or whatever the case may be, whatever your goals may be. And you may not have the perfect program, and you may not have the perfect plan, but that's okay, man. Like, in order to see real progress, you got to move anyway. Show up. That's the first things first is showing up, because that's the hardest part. That's the real part of discipline, because in life, you have so much stuff going on in your life. Excuse me. And, you know, sometimes you ain't gonna be motivated the same way to go to the gym. So it's hard to do so. So the first things first is just showing up. That's the first thing. Okay, man, let's move on to the second thing. That leads to the second thing, which is stop relying on motivation. To piggyback off what I was saying, it's easy when you're feeling like you want to go to the gym. Like, that ain't hard to go to the gym. You know, you could be like, man, you know, you could be pumped up one day and you could be like, man, I can't wait to hit this gym. And then you have many more days, especially if you're a busy working professional like I am, busy working man, bro. You don't, most of your days, you ain't gonna want to go to the gym. Like, I'm gonna just break it. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's a major difference between when I was in high school or in college, and, you know, I didn't have responsibilities and stuff, compared to now. I'm a father, a husband, you know, and I got tons of responsibilities. I work more, you know, etc. Regular life shit. But it's a major difference. Like, back then, I wanted to, like, hit the gym 24/7, 2 hours a day, sometimes 2 a days, because that's all. It was easier for that. Ain't nothing was going on. But when you really get them real life responsibilities and stuff, man, like, shoot, it's many days where I want to say, like, hey, man, this gym could miss me, you know, like, because I don't feel like going. So, you know, in order for you to go to the gym and actually stay consistent, you're going to have to stop relying on your motivation. That's one big one that I learned, because hey, you ain't going to hardly ever be motivated most of the time, and the majority of the time, especially when you're busy. So that's the second thing. Stop relying on motivation. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Number 3, that leads on to it. Keep your word to yourself. That's the main thing about discipline. That's the biggest benefit of discipline, because you got to keep your word to yourself. If you said you're going to go to the gym on such and such day, or if you said you're going to work out straight for a whole week, whole month, whatever the case may be, you have to keep your word to yourself, because many people don't think that has a damaging effect. When every time you break your promises and, you know, you say you're gonna do this and you don't do it, man, you training your brain and your mind to believe, like, okay, anything that you want to do, you're not gonna do it, because you already training yourself to not doing it. Each time that you break your promises and, you know, don't do exactly what you said you're gonna do, And that's the whole part of discipline. You got to do, being disciplined is doing exactly what you said. You're keeping your word. You know, that's how you boost your confidence. That's how you see great results and achieve all your goals that you have. You have to keep your word to yourself, because it could be something as simple as, okay, going to the gym, just because you said that you're going to go to the gym, because that could affect other areas in your life. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So you have to make sure that no matter what, you keeping your word to yourself, man. Like, it may not even be the most perfect way, but you still have to keep the word, your word to yourself, your promise that you made to yourself. That'd help you out a lot. Okay, moving on to the next one. Next one is, make it simple, man. And that's pretty self-explanatory. You don't got to overcomplicate things, man, because the more you overcomplicate, the more you overanalyze, that's the more that you gonna procrastinate and stay stagnant. Slow yourself down, because you're not moving. There's no momentum. There's no motion. So you waste a lot of time thinking like, dang, man, like, I need to do this. How can I make this perfect? How can I make this perfect? And I'm really guilty of that shit. Like, I do that all the time. You know, that's something I'm breaking out of, because I realized, like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm doing all this, and I could be moving and figuring stuff out as I go. That's what real high achievers do. They move and figure stuff out as they go. They don't stand in one spot and just think, okay, what's the perfect way? Because what's the perfect way? Because it will never be perfect. Nothing will never line up perfect for you, you know? So you just got to move anyway and just figure stuff out as you go, right? All right, and like, basically, when you move and you figure stuff out as you go, you're in motion. Compared to, like, if you think and try to just have everything perfect, all you're doing is spinning your wheels. You ain't going nowhere. So that's something that, you know, your boy had to work on too, really, as well, recently. So that's that, man. Make sure you keep everything simple. Excuse me. Like I said, you don't need to overcomplicate it. Start you off with a simple workout plan. Start off small. Stack those small steps up daily, because those small steps eventually adds up to big wins. So you got to stack brick by brick, brick by brick. That's how you got to remember and keep it in your head. Don't try to do everything at work at once, you know. Build the foundation first. Start off simple, start off basic, start off small. And then once you mature into something, that's how you get it, you know. When you first start riding the bike, you don't start with just no training wheels and stuff like that. You start with training wheels, then you build you up a little bit more confidence, take the training wheels off, and, you know, go based off of that, man. So that's just how you got to do, man, in your workout journey, you know, because, like I said, that's going to have a trickle effect into the rest of the things of your life. You know, how you, like I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So that's what you got to remember, man. That's one main thing you got to remember. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Well, do it especially when you don't feel like it. You know, that kind of goes on to, like I said, don't rely on motivation. You know, like I said, if you busy, you got real life responsibilities and stuff like that, like 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, you're not going to feel like it. So each time that you force yourself to go anyway, you build that discipline muscle, you know. And that's how discipline goes. Like I said, it's built, you're not born with it. You got to build it, you know, through consistency. Because when you first go into the gym and you start lifting weights, you don't just lift a large amount of weights like me. Bench press max 415 pounds. When I first started in the gym, I was nowhere near that, because I had to learn. I took step by step, and I stacked the reps up of consistency. And that's how I ended up as an elite lifter as I am now. So that's the same thing you got to do, man. And like I said, that's going to mirror how you handle other business in your life, by consistency. And discipline is a muscle too. You keep on being disciplined, and each time you prove to yourself that you can keep your word, that's you building that discipline muscle. And once you do that, you get stronger. It's easy. You're going to find out, okay, dang, man, I'm seeing a lot of success. I'm seeing a lot of benefits from doing this. So it's going to make it easier for you to, like, you know what? I don't feel like doing this, but I got to do this. I got to be disciplined. I got to be disciplined. And like I said, the best way to train that is through the gym, because, like I said, once you start off doing that and you teach yourself that, man, if I could go to the gym after a long, hard day at work, if I could go to the gym early in the morning before I have to go work a 12-hour shift or something like that, dude, I ain't gonna lie, like, take it from me, you feel like you could do anything, like nothing hard, because I ain't gonna lie, that's hard. I be having to go to work by 6 o'clock, sometimes earlier. I wake up by 3:45, 4 o'clock, go hit the gym. You know, that's the days I train morning sessions. And I ain't gonna lie, it's something real hard. It's hard to do. The hardest thing is showing up, I promise. But when I'm in there and I get through the motion, I feel real good about myself that I did it. And I move my body and I, kept my word to myself. Whereas, like, even after work, days that I got to go in the afternoon and I really don't feel like it, I tell myself, like, man, I promise myself that no matter what, I got to go put something in. I don't care if it's 30, 40, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. I'm going to still go put that work in because I told myself I will, And I trained that muscle to where, like, automatically, if I don't feel like doing something, I'm going to do it anyway, So, yeah, man, just remember that, don't rely on motivation. Just do it even when you don't feel like it. Okay, so yeah, man, basically, like I said, that was a real quick video today that I want to give y'all, and I want to share with y'all about, how to build discipline through fitness, because it's going to, help you down and benefit the rest of your life and how you handle business and stuff. So, like I said, if you find any value from this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to be more disciplined and, like I said, not rely on motivation and see real success, make sure you follow this page, man, because at the end of the day, we're going to keep it real over here. I'm going to speak the real. I'm going to tell y'all when it's stuff I'm struggling with. I'm going to tell y'all where I can help y'all with. That's just me. I'm going to be real about it. But, yeah, man, like I said, that's going to wrap it up. The video. Just remember, discipline isn't built overnight. You got to stack those reps up daily. And that's how you're going to build your discipline that you need and stuff to succeed in life and just become the man that you want to become in life. Okay? So that's all I got for y'all today. Once again, find any value from it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow along the journey, man. And that'll be all I got for y'all, man. Once again, it's your boy, Kobe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.